Great. Welcome, everybody. What was that? Is it Steve?
No.
68. We're at episode 68. Finn might be dying on us here. Happy to have you back with us. We're going to drink some Pinot Noir to get started today from a company that specializes in Pinot Noir from around the world. That is their thing.
Yeah, they search out basically top growers of Pinot Noir fruit from the different, well-known Pinot Noir growing regions of Central Otago, New Zealand, Tasmania, Burgundy, and Oregon. And this one that we are featuring this week is from Oregon, and an appropriate name, Straight Shooter, because this wine, if you mistake this as anything other than Pinot Noir,
you have a problem.
You have a problem.
This is called what it is.
Yeah. This is, very classic Oregonian style of Pinot Noir.
And Maison l'Envoy, is that how you pronounce?
Yeah. Maison l'Envoy.
L'Envoy is the name of the company that produces it. Oh yeah.
Yeah. The original project, the first bottling came from Burgundy. Then they had added Oregon, and then I'm not sure if it was Tasmania or Central Otago.
Mm-hmm.
But cool growing region, perfect for growing Pinot Noir. It drives way more focus and elegance in the wine.
This goes very well with the scone that I ate this morning.
Chocolate chip?
No. I do not do chocolate chip scones. Cranberry.
Cranberry?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's a way to get the morning going. Yeah, so episode 68, we kick it off here with the Straight Shooter Pinot. This is our email line special of the week. This wine and all the other stuff that we'll talk about today are available for sale out there at barriquesmarket.com under events, and the July 21st show section will include the Straight Shooter. And for those of, hopefully it won't all be gone by the time we send the email out. By the time you see this, the email will have gone on. I bet a lot of people are going to pick this up. It's a huge deal. Typically, the Straight Shooter sits on our shelves at $19.99. The deal brings it down to $15.99. So one of the biggest whacks off the regular sales price.
Solid 20%.
Ooh, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like what I would. It's got more body than like things like the Underwood or we did a Pinot recently that we compared to the Underwood. Anyway, it's got more heft to it.
Yeah. No, it's Pinot Noir straight through.
It is.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna wash our toothpaste down with some Pinot, it certainly seemed like it made sense to talk about whiskey right afterwards. For those of you who had the opportunity to join ourselves and our co-host David Schmier for the Proof and Wood whiskey tasting, it was a real treat. And one of the whiskeys that we were able to try was his Senator, the Rye whiskey, 6-year aging or so. And Finn, you thought it would make today was a good opportunity to talk about it because it just won some award.
Yeah, this particular whiskey that you all had to try, and this was the ultimate whiskey at the end.
Yeah.
Just won the Ascot Award for Best American Rye Whiskey.
Wow.
So we have just a handful of bottles left. I don't remember what he said. The production was very small. So there are not a lot of these out there floating around, but yeah, his Senator won the Ascot Award for Best American Rye Whiskey.
Cool. Yeah, it's $69 and change sitting on the shelf. But as Finn said, there are not a ton of them. We have it here at Monroe Street, Middleton, Fitchburg, or a few. I know there's just a couple bottles sitting up on the shelf. So if you are a rye whiskey fan, David Schmier, you may recognize the name. He was the gentleman behind Redemption Rye before he sold that project and moved on to Proof and Wood. It was a cool event.
Yeah, he's a master creator, basically.
Yeah.
And he really laid it out there.
Yeah. I was particularly the roulette. I mean, as a like inexpensive, easy to drink rye of his, was pretty cool. The one thing I did notice about these bottles,
I know.
which
That bottom is weird.
it's very small. It's like the width, like maybe a regular can size, but it's a beefy bottle. I almost dropped it on the floor when I set it down.
Well, it's kind of rounded, so.
Yeah, weeble wobbles, but they do fall down.
Yeah.
So, were you not able to check us out with the Proof and Wood tasting? We do have a bunch of other tasting events coming up. We were sort of filling out the calendar for the rest of July and into August. Most sitting right in front of us is the Pinot Noir tasting that we're doing this Friday in Middleton. You threw down the list of Pinots. It looks like a pretty fun group of wines.
Yeah,
of which the Straight Shooter, I believe, is in that tasting.
Yeah, we're in kind of the same vein of Maison Lamboy. I wanted to come up with a bunch of Pinot Noirs to do like a global tasting.
Yeah.
And so we are trying, I've got a new one from Tasmania.
Oh, cool.
Which will be really, really cool, called Devil's Cut.
Yep.
And New Zealand, we're going to revisit one of Steve Bird's wines, the Manu. We got a Burgundian, Italian, so yeah.
Kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. So that's an in-person event taking place this Friday in Middleton, 5 to 7 o'clock. You can get your admission, you can pre-purchase your admission. It's going to be $15 through the BarriquesMarket.com site. If you come in the day of the event, it'll be $20, so it definitely pays to get that taken care of before you get in. The following week, where are we the following week? We're skipping the following week.
Yeah. A lot of conflict.
There's no way to make that happen.
Yeah.
But we do go back to a familiar place on Friday, August 6th. We go over to Oregon. And that is also going to be another $15 tasting. That tasting is going to be at Fitchburg, again from 5 to 7 o'clock. The details and so forth are just going to be published in time for you guys to see this and go ahead and make that purchase. And then we fast forward out to the 20th of August, where a definite friend of Barriques and a person that we're big fans of, Andrew Nelson and his War Room Cellars, the guys behind Lapis Luna and Bonnie Doon. Andrew's going to join us for another hybrid event, similar to what we did with Italian wines and cooking with Dollar stuff last week, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was crazy but fun.
Yeah. So we've got a guest that Andrew in this case, who will pipe in via Zoom. You are welcome to do that tasting virtually, again through Zoom, like we had done all throughout the past winter and last summer. Or you are welcome to come in to the store and do it in person. We had a great group of people that were doing it with us and willing to put up with the first time kind of try to figuring it out stuff. But we've gotten great feedback about it so far,
awesome.
From both sides of the screen. It was nice to be in person with a bunch of people where you can actually like kind of really see their reaction to wines and hear them talk about it and stuff like that. So that's going to be another hybrid event on the 20th of August. The details on that may not be there when you go out and look right away, but you may want to just mark it on your calendar. We'll see what we can do to get it out there, but we just were sort of putting the final touches on that. And then way out, a week beyond that, which is sort of hard to think about, we're careening towards Labor Day. August 27th, we're going to do a summer sparkling tasting. Why not celebrate what is getting to be the end of summer?
We're all going to celebrate that we're going to put our kids back into school.
It's very true. Maybe we should do a tasting the first day of school.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a mimosa tasting.
Yeah, there we go. That's probably a good idea. So that's August 27th. So coming right up, the Pinot Noir tasting this Friday in Middleton, 5 to 7. You can get that admission out there at BarriquesMarket.com. Oregon, Wines from Oregon on the 6th of August. And then Lapis Luna, Bonnie Doon, probably combo with Andrew Nelson on the 20th of August, and summer sparkling to celebrate our children going back to school on the 27th. Dear God, please make sure they go back to school. So that's the tasting lineup. They are a lot of fun. I hope you can join us for some of those. Okay, speaking of a lot of fun, one of the things that I thought was pretty interesting, and I thought we would just cut over to Kristen Millis, who was our guest during the De La Terra tasting, was her view on Pinot Grigio.
Yeah.
Now, you probably don't drink a lot of Pinot Grigio. Maybe some Alto Adige stuff. I bet you have in your cellar.
I'm Collio and Alto Adige,
which is where she was aiming everybody. The Zuani from last week with a Collio-based Pinot Grigio that was a little bit, I don't want to say mind-blowing, but it was just like a real wake-up call to what Pinot Grigio is all about. In fact, I thought I did bring it out. Okay, there they are. And we did the Marco Faluga Pinot Grigio at the tasting yesterday, both of which I don't reach for Pinot Grigio very often, but those are two wines I would drink. So anyway, I thought we'd cut Kristen in, have her tell you a little bit about why those two regions in particular are the places when you go like to a restaurant or something like that to grab a Pinot Grigio, and here she is.
Dope. And, I think it's a shame because like now I think people feel a little sheepish about ordering Pinot Grigio in a restaurant or buying Pinot Grigio in a store because it's just become, a little bit of like the butt of jokes in a way. Like, oh, there's, it's become a little bit more pedestrian. Like, oh, Pinot Grigio, what an obvious wine. And there's a million labels out there of Pinot Grigio. But, when you see a good Pinot Grigio in a store or on a wine list, it is very, very gratifying. Like the wines are delicious. And as long as we keep our eyes on the prize of wines that really encapsulate like how good this grape variety can be, don't be like, oh, I need to pick something so much more unique or interesting or esoteric. If there's a really great example of Pinot Grigio that is within your reach, I think these wines are dynamite. I think they have so much to offer. There's so much beautiful weight and minerality here. And, I love, again, just waters your mouth with that juicy, fresh green apple. So, I'm just I'm a big fan of good Pinot Grigio. And I really love the style of Pinot Grigio from Marco Faluga. If you don't know the producer, definitely, if it's Alto Adige or not just Friuli, but Collio or Colli Orientali. I mean, Friuli in general, if you're just going to see, Friuli, that's better than, I'm sorry, Pinot Grigio has no business being grown in like Sicily or Puglia. I'm just going to say it. And you guys can tell on me, and I don't care who calls me out on it. But, definitely Alto Adige and Friuli are the best places. And again, for the differences, this isn't going to be 100% all the time, but I would say the Pinot Grigio from Alto Adige might be a little bit more focused, a little bit more linear, and maybe a little leaner and more elegant, whereas the Pinot Grigio from Friuli and definitely Collio is going to be a little rounder and have more structure and be more generous on the palate. That's not going to be 100% all the time because it depends on the producer, but I would say that that's at least some more guidance between, okay, I have a choice between Alto Adige Pinot Grigio and Friuli Pinot Grigio. Which one do I choose?
All right, so there's a good tip for looking for and finding high quality Pinot Grigio if you're in a restaurant setting. Hopefully, the wine list will at least give you a sense for where the wine is from. But if you are after kind of maybe to switch things up, get out of the Sauvignon Blanc rut, Pinot Grigio from the right region is really a fun grape to drink with food.
Well, and one spoiler alert on the Marco Faluga versus the Zuani. Zuani is Patrizia Faluga, which is the daughter of Marco Faluga.
Yes.
So if you were to follow the family tree of producers of great Pinot Grigio,
yep,
they're two great Pinot Grigios.
For sure.
They're definitely a little different from each other.
Yep.
I would say Patrizia's Zuani is much more razor-like, where Marco's is way more elegant and more subtle nuance.
Yeah. The Zuani is still out there. That was our email deal wine last week. I believe the sale price is still good. I'll probably knock a couple bucks off the Marco Fluga, so maybe you can grab one of both and give them a try. Fill them down. We got a lot of nice colors coming up. Spill it there. So these would be great on the patio some afternoon or some evening. So give some of those Pinot Grigios a try. Coffee. You actually are drinking the coffee that we're going to talk about today, which is that unusual, throwing down Colombia Dark? Do you normally throw down the dark?
No, not typically.
Not typically? Where did you get that?
Huh?
Where did that Middleton today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're brewing it at Middleton today if you want to go try it first.
So our coffee deal, we're going to talk a little bit about the Colombia Dark. We do a regular, our regular Colombia Cordillera Central is a mainstay coffee for us. It's one of those coffees that, like, I just think a lot of people are very familiar with. Like, when you think about coffee, like, it just kind of tastes like coffee. Like, there's this weird thing that triggers in the brain when you drink the Colombian coffee. The dark version, obviously, is just a darker roasted version of that same Colombian coffee. Tell us a little bit about that process that you guys use.
Yeah, if you think of like your typical Colombian, which shows really nice kind of red berry fruits and things like that, the dark we take and run in the roaster for about another 8 to 10 seconds longer, and it completely changes that over to think of something like a 73% dark chocolate Colombian single origin chocolate bar. It's very chocolatey.
And just literally that many seconds difference. Yeah. It's a very fine line.
Or actually, I'm sorry, I said seconds, didn't I?
You did say seconds.
It's actually 8 to 10 degrees more.
Okay.
And about 3.5-4 seconds, so 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay.
30 seconds.
Gotcha. Okay. I was like, I don't know. That seems a little tight.
Yeah.
So the Colombia Dark out there and available for sale. You can ship it to a coffee lover out there. We have free shipping for orders under or over $50. You can subscribe and get this thing shipped to you every week or every 2 weeks, whatever, and save 15%. It's a pretty great deal. Or you can save 15% by just buying it now, because the bags are on sale. Regularly $13.95 down to $11.95, $11.96 and change, a couple bucks off. It's a fun dark roasted coffee. If you've been drinking things like Smoke Jumper, North Beach, etc., Full War maybe, the Colombia Dark should be one. It is actually one of the coffees, the dark roast coffees, that I will grab as a regular order of business.
And if you are if you're a cream kind of person, then you add the cream and then it's milk chocolate.
And then it's milk chocolate. It's good, Finn. Good.
Just waiting to use that one.
Have some milk chocolate with your breakfast. All right. That's all I got. Anything else that bears mentioning today for episode 68? I don't think so. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your week. Come and check some of this stuff out at barriquesmarket.com. Come visit us at the store. We got a couple new drinks, actually, that are just hitting the cafe today.
The one thing I will say about the Pinots, I am going to put a little bit of a chill on them because it's going to be 91 degrees out. So they'll be, not cold, but
seasonably appropriate temperature.
Yes. Yeah, it's a seasonally appropriate varietal.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Cool. Well, hope you guys can join us. Look forward to seeing you on episode 69, and have a great rest of the week. Cheers.